What is going on, Wildcats fans? We got our first look at the Arizona Wildcats 2025-2026 basketball team at the Red Blue Showcase in Tucson at McKale Center tonight. We got our guy, Saul Bookman, boots on the ground, out there at the Red Blue Showcase. What did he see from Arizona's elite freshmen? All that and more in 30 seconds. Don't go anywhere. Welcome on in, everybody, to the AZ Wildcats podcast, live from Studio K, presented by our friends over at Circle K. I am your host, Damon Farrell, Damon Dog, and that is my guy, Saul Bookman, and we are here doing a post-game show for a scrimmage, Saul, because that's how much sickos like us love Arizona basketball. That's why all of you sickos are here in the chat as well. Make sure that you sickos leave a like on this video. But Saul out there, first impressions of the Arizona basketball team. Ooh, and we looks like we lost Saul already. We'll get him back here in just a second. But just chomping at the bit to hear Saul's thoughts on this team from being there in person. But I got to say, guys, it was pretty cool to see Koa Peat in that uniform for the first time, as well as Brayden Burries, who I feel like somehow has gone a little bit under the radar, and Dwayne Aristode as well. But we do have our guy Saul Bookman back here. Saul, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, you just knew that was going to happen, right? Like, everything was all good. I've been on for a little bit, and all of a sudden you shoot to me, and everything crashes. So I need to get back on that Wi-Fi, I guess. And McKale Center Wi-Fi that barely works half the time.
Yeah, so I guess those Tucson cell towers are not quite up to the, when they show those maps, those 5G LTE maps, maybe like Tucson, we didn't realize it, but
black.
Tucson's been a dead center the entire time.
Yeah,
yeah,
1,000,000%.
So it was a big deal out there tonight. I mean, we had Shaquille O'Neal, Rob Gronkowski, who also I think may have been playing in the second half, but I was wearing maybe a really, really good disguise, so it was kind of hard to tell. How was it being out there at the game, and how was McKale Center for the first time this season?
I mean, it's cool, man. It's always good to be back in McKale. I mean, like this is home. People are going crazy over here for Bryce and Savannah James. It's kind of crazy right now. I mean, they're shouting over here. So like, listen, man, people are excited. It was good to see them all back here in McKale. This is home. And, with some fresh flavor, some freshmen that everybody's really, really high on. And I think as the game went on, you started to see why they were excited.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Saul, I believe you early on in the game, you were filming something with our guy, Corey Williams, of course, of the McKale Madness podcast. And we're excited for you guys to get that going again here once the season starts back up. But you guys were filming something, and all of a sudden, the Secret Service comes by and moves you out of the way.
Man, you know what? Like somebody come through, like Nate Wikers is the SID, and he was like, "Hey, I don't think you guys could sit here." And we were like, just about to start, and we only needed like 30 seconds. So we were like, "All right, yeah, we'll get up here in a second." And so we started, and we couldn't even get to like maybe the 25-second mark, and all of a sudden, I mean, another guy came hauling across the floor. It was like, "You guys got to get out of these seats. You got to get out of these seats." And Savannah was sitting next to me, and she was pleasant. She was just sitting here like, hey, as soon as they're done, we'll just move over. But yeah, we got kicked out. Savannah James gets priority over us, of course. So
I think it's fair, Saul. I think it's fair. Even over our guy Corey Williams, Final Four starter Corey Williams. I mean, that one hurts a little bit, but you got to do what you got to do for loyalty.
Nobody takes the place of the queen. So.
It's very true. It's very true. But Saul, I feel like maybe that's a decent place to keep it on. Maybe you got something good? You all good? Sorry, I had you muted for a second.
No, this guy's trying to kick me out, I guess. That's okay. We'll find another spot.
Okay, cool. I'll hold it down the fort for a little bit while you move.
I got to jump somewhere else and do my job, I guess. But hey, I'm not gonna get mad at this dude back here. Where'd he go? That dude right there, center core right there. All right, I'm not gonna get mad. I'm just gonna do my job. I'm gonna keep pressing on. It's cool. We're gonna go outside and see what the vibes are like outside. How
Yeah,
about that?
man. I mean, listen, you tell him, hey, I'm Saul Bookman. I do this from the floor all the time whenever I do hits on the AZ Wildcats podcast. Kind of a big deal, my guy.
No, I would never say that. You know me.
I love this live on air like walk through the bowels of McKale Center by Saul Bookman. This is pretty unreal, unparalleled.
This is raw and uncut, man. This is raw and uncut. This is the au naturel of McKale Center right here. Like if you don't know what this is all about, if you've never come down here, these are the steps that well, actually no, there's a ramp that the football team used to use back in the day to go across the street to go to the stadium to play their games. That's how long McKale's been around. So
that was back when the Arizona Athletic Department was slumming it, and the football department didn't have their own football facility. But thankfully, those days are long past us. Drop a like here if you're loving the intensity from our guy Saul Bookman, just picking things up and just getting it going, getting it moving. And now we're back outside.
Why not? That's it, baby. Hey, so no, we're gonna be good right here because I don't know if you guys can you hear that?
No.
Oh, well, that's good because that is the party that Shaq and Gronk are throwing right now. You can hear it from here. And if you're in Tucson, you should just go. It's at Bear Down Field right in front of the stadium. It's for free. Why not? Go get lit.
Yeah.
All you like 60 and 70-year-olds, get your ass up and go over there, man.
Yeah, that is the funny part about, asking Arizona fans to come party afterwards is we all know there's a little bit of an age limit, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, back to the game. Let's do it.
Back to the game. Saul, I mean, we were talking about Bryce James. I feel like that's a good place to start it because you had some hot takes for me during the game after watching Bryce for the first time suit up in an Arizona uniform. Will Bryce James play in his first season at Arizona? Because I think going into this year, a lot of people thought to themselves, this was going to be kind of a shelf him year, let him get acclimated to college basketball, especially big time college basketball like Arizona. And you might not be so sure, Saul.
I thought for sure he would be a project, and he still is. But what I saw today told me that, if anybody got injured, he could see minutes, maybe more than 10 minutes a game. Okay, 10 to 15. I think as it stands right now, you're looking at a kid who defensively is quick enough to hold his own. I thought his anticipation tonight was elite. Like I thought he had a couple nice plays on defense that showed, his how he can see the game and anticipate things. His instincts are very good, which is not surprising because of his family tree, for crying out loud. So I think there was a lot of good things to like about what Bryce James had to offer tonight against, obviously the other team. So yeah, I think this is something to where you thought he was a project, and I still think he's a project. I still think, he should be, a 3-year guy here. But I came away very much more impressed than I thought I was going to after that, for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's something that maybe a lot of people didn't expect tonight. Like, I think this was beneficial because a lot of fans probably thought this was going to be the best chance to see Bryce James in extended action tonight, maybe, versus the exhibition games that Arizona plays as well. But yeah, I mean, I think that you saw some decent looks from Bryce James tonight, maybe enough so that he could, carve out a few rotation minutes here and there. Sick jersey, by the way, but as we got the Wildcat statue shot in the background for our guy Saul Bookman now.
I mean, why not? Why not? Let's make a scene of it, huh? There we go. Perfect. There we go.
Love it.
Cool.
I think you look at this, you look at the wing rotation, and that's probably where Bryce struggles the most to find a role for himself, I would say, because we've talked about it ad nauseum, and maybe it's the easiest position to find a starting spot at on this current roster, but there's 3 guys vying for that spot, whether it's Anthony Del Orso, whether it's Dwayne Aristode, whether it's, Ivan Karchenkov to a little bit lesser degree. And then you have Bryce James as well. So, do you think that there are enough minutes from a wing standpoint to go around to get him enough of those early looks?
I that's really tough to say. I think against the lower level teams, that's when you'll find out because when you're scouted, when you have to go use a scouting report, when you have to get on the court and do different things, that's when you're going to have to figure out what he's really capable of. Because obviously teams are going to pay attention to him a little bit more. They're going to scheme for different types of players on the court. He's going to be the guy that's least scouted. Okay, so he's going to be that 3-and-D guy, as we saw tonight. Took a couple of them, hit his first one. And if he has that opportunity in the season in a limited role, and it will be a limited role, let's make no bones about it. It's not like he's going to be like that 6th or 7th guy off the bench. We're talking about 9 or 10. And typically, Tommy doesn't like to go past 8. So can he crack that bit of a rotation? If you think about last season, there were ups and downs for a variety of different players. And I could see instances where, depending on the flow of the game, you might find yourself wanting to take a little bit of a flyer on a guy like Bryce James during a game. Like, remember there was a certain stretch where KJ Lewis wasn't playing so hot. Del Orso might have been going through a little bit of a funk. Maybe in those little runs, you're like, you know what? Let's give Bryce a little bit of run here. And I think if that happens, that's where he's going to see his minutes. If you think he's going to come out in game 1 against Florida and play more than 10 minutes, that's not happening. But he might see a couple minutes. He might see a couple minutes maybe towards the end of the half. Because maybe you want to, extend the lead or get back into the game. And he's got a 3-point shot that I think is going to be pretty solid this season.
Yeah, and I want to stick on that shot. Roberto says it here. His shot is very pure, and
It is.
you saw it very early on in the scrimmage, right? He hits that opening 3-pointer. Like, the guy has a solid stroke to him, and I think it's about kind of growing into his body now because he grew a lot in the last year. Like, and let's face it, people aren't used to like the mechanics of moving necessarily, especially athletically, when you just grow like 6-7 inches out of nowhere. But that shot, you can work with that shot, and that's probably what could earn him playing time in year 1.
1,000,000%. I think a spot up shooter, because you saw how the other pieces were working together. You could see with Krivas, Koa Peat, Jaden Bradley, and him all on the court at the same time. There was opportunities galore, and there was a couple times where Bryce was wide open on the opposite wing, and they just could not get the ball skipped over to him. Now Arizona was playing a man-to-man for most of the game, which understandably so. I think you're going to see him. Man, he might be the zone killer. Like, if he could find his groove, having him and Del Orso maybe opposite each other, which we saw a little bit tonight in that first 5. I could easily see a scenario with Koa Peat being as big as he is. And I know Koa didn't have like the most phenomenal game tonight, but he is a playmaker. And he's going to find one of those two guys open just about every single time, especially if Krivas is down low and Jaden is the other guy trying to, move around the court. Like, I could easily see an opportunity like that for him.
Yeah, and let's stick there with guys that were shooting well from downtown and freshmen, because Braden Burries really showed out tonight. And he went 7 of 11 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3, scored 22 points in 20 minutes. And I feel like, in a way, a weird way, Braden Burries, despite being the number 10 overall recruit in his class, has somewhat gone under the radar because Koa Peat has been louder, especially with the recent U19 trials and whatnot. But I really feel that Braden Burries is the type of player that could be the leading scorer on this team when it's all said and done. What did you like from Braden Burries tonight in terms of the way that he was shooting it out there?
No, without a doubt, I think Brayden Burries will end up being the leading scorer on this team. That guy just has it, and it doesn't really look too hard. He's physically able to do what he wants to do on that court. Like, he's gifted, dude. He's athletically gifted, and he's not an exceptional leaper, but he is a premier athlete. Like, he reminds me a lot of Alonzo Trier. How Alonzo was a little bit stacked. Man, I feel like that music got louder. That's crazy. And He's like stacked, but he's got a good shot. He can play around the rim. I wanted to come over here by my guy Luke because why not? So yeah, it was. I was very impressed by him. I think that he's one of those guys that that is going to be able to do whatever he wants on the court. And when Arizona is struggling for a bucket, let me go this way. He's going to be right there.
Always watching, Saul. You
Always.
know, I when we did our mural here, and I'm pointing at it, looking at it, and obviously you can't see me pointing, but where I typically sit every day on this podcast, you can see Loot right over my shoulder, very similarly to how he is over your shoulder. I fought for that, Saul, and I want you to know, as the man who used to have to fight for Arizona Wildcats representation in this office full of disgusting people. I have taken that mantle from you, and I go to war. I go to war.
Listen, man, it is an everyday battle. It is an
It
everyday
is.
battle. And listen, man, for all those people that are out there and they're like hating on us or whatever, like me and Damon fight the good fight at all times. And I'm just gonna say, like, U of A being number 2, not on my watch, not when I was the GM at PHNX.
Oh, God,
I
no.
can't help who's the GM now and how he's running things and how he's being disrespectful of all alma mater. I love him, but no, not on my watch. But hey, I digress.
Me and Kevin go to war with Espo every horrible graphic that he makes where he disrespects Arizona. That's a fact, everybody. So, but yeah, good to see the Loot shot there, Saul. And if Arizona's going to want to win a championship this year, they're going to need these freshmen that we're talking about to step up and be the guys, right? Because this is going to be a team that is primarily built off of these new additions to the roster. Obviously, you bring back the Jaden Bradleys, the Tobe Awakas, the Mo Krivoses, but primarily it's going to be Brayden Burries and Koa Peat that are going to have to kind of shoulder, I think, the primary burden of carrying this roster. Did you see enough from those two guys in particular tonight to fill you with confidence going into this season?
Yeah, I did. I like this roster. I like how it's all set up from top to bottom. I do want to say this, and I need everybody to really listen to what I'm about to say. There might be some bumps in the road early on in the season because these freshmen still have to learn. And tonight was a prime example of, like, Braden Burries was gassed at the end. Like, and they only played 20 minutes. So, like, the fact that Brayden Burries was gassed at the end, and a couple others were kind of tugging at their shorts too. And you know that they're going through it during practice. You know they're getting worked out all the time. It's not a matter of conditioning. It's just game conditioning is different. And game conditioning, when you have to go about 95% effort at all times, is just different. It is a learned skill. It really is. So I do think that there might be some hiccups in the road early on because they play some good teams early on. But I think they're going to get they're going to get their handful of wins against good teams. I do think that they're going to be better prepared going into the Big 12 than even last year's team. And I'm very optimistic that, like Koa Peat's the one that I kind of look at because I feel like Krivas at least has an understanding of like what's expected and he'll work his way into it. Koa Peat's the one that I feel like is really going to determine how high this team is going to go because he has all the tools. And we'll talk about him in a little bit. There were some things that I did not like from Koa Peat that I hope work themselves out as we get closer to the season. But yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, let's talk about Koa Peat right after the break here on the AZ Wildcats pod and hear Saul's thoughts on his debut performance for Arizona basketball tonight. But first, guys, I want to talk to you guys about a brand new sponsor of ours, Zen Leaf Dispensaries. Have you ever seen a promo code like this in your entire life? Zen PHNX is going to get you 50% off your first purchase at a Zen Leaf dispensary, of which there are many locations all throughout the valley. And guys, Zen Leaf is so nice. They stopped by. They gave us a bunch of product to distribute among our hosts here at PHNX. And it was really just a treat for them to do so. They gave us some, guys, even if you're not big time smokers, not everybody is, that's totally fine. There are other ways to enjoy Zen Leaf dispensaries, whether that's through their edibles they gave us. They gave us some bath mixture where, of course, you put in, it's a THC and CBD mixture for your bath, just extra relaxation, some relief balm. I mean, you name it, guys. ZenLeaf has it. And, of course, all types of products that can help all different types of ailments. Maybe you're trying to sleep better. Maybe you're trying to get a little bit more of an appetite. ZenLeaf has everything that you could possibly desire from that perspective. And guys, do it with ZenLeaf dispensaries, flower vapes, edibles, and more. Chandler, Gilbert, North Phoenix, and more. There's just so many options. And like I said, Zen PHNX is going to get you 50% off. That's ZEN PHNX for 50% off. Don't forget, limited time only, and it is a one-time purchase. ZenLeaf, great week, great service every single time. And of course, also want to talk to you guys about a sponsor that pairs extremely well with our friends at ZenLeaf, and that's Circle K, because they are America's thirst stop. They're the only place to buy snacks. They're the only place to buy energy drinks. I actually stopped by today to get an energy drink because I did the D-back show earlier, and then I knew I was coming back for this Red Blue post game, so I said to myself, I need a little bit of an energy fix. I need a caffeine fix, and who better than America's thirst stop to get that done? Circle K. All types of deals going on over there with the Inner Circle Rewards program. And if you haven't signed up yet, you just hate money. You download a free app, you choose an email, you plug in a password, and it is so simple. You're already signed up. You just got to plug in that phone number at the gas pump, and the savings are right in front of you. You'll save 3 cents off per gallon on your first, 25 cents per gallon on your first five fill-ups, 3 cents off per gallon every time you fill up after that, until you reach premium status like me and Kevin, where you'll reach 5 cents off per gallon every single time you fill up. Guys, become a member of the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. Love our friends at Circle K. And Saul, I love me some Koa Peat. I've been very high on Koa Peat. I've been, basically knocking down doors as if, I'm trying to spread the holy gospel of Koa Peat, saying this guy's going to be a top 10 pick next year. This guy's going to carry Arizona. But it wasn't necessarily Koa Peat's night tonight. You go look at his stats. He had 9 points on 4 of 10 shooting. Didn't attempt a three-pointer, which I think is, pretty akin to what we should expect from Koa Peat. Might see it here and there. 3 rebounds, 2 assists to that playmaking aspect like you talked about, Saul. And then he also had 2 turnovers, a block and a steal in 18 minutes in total. You said that you saw some stuff that you didn't love from Koa Peat tonight. Let's start with the negatives and then go into the positives. What was that stuff that you didn't love from Arizona star freshman?
Yeah, mechanically, it was the jumper. You guys might not have seen it really tonight too much, because he didn't really take any jumpers. Not that I can recall, but in the warm-ups, he was taking some jumpers, and I did not see this little subtle hitch at the mid-range that I saw. I see it now, and I didn't see it before, and I don't know. I don't think it existed before. It's a subtle one. I think when I saw him shoot threes, there's a reason why he's probably not going to shoot a lot of threes. There is a significant hitch there when he shoots the three, and that's where it's really more pronounced. And then you kind of notice it, and it goes away, obviously, the closer and closer he gets to the basket. Other than that, that's really the only thing outside of, again, this ability to play large at the rim. He's going to have to figure that out, and he will, but he has a tendency every now and then to shrink himself at the basket. And when he does that, he got blocked tonight at one point by Brayden Burries. And like, that can't happen. Like, you're just too big and you're too strong. But all that being said, again, like, I don't really care how many points he scored tonight. What was he into the game? Was he flow? And as the game went on, he got better and better and better and better. And that's what you want to see from the freshman. So did Braden Burries. And so Koa, I thought, really started to figure out what he wanted to do in this game. And as he develops and he gets further down the road, he's going to figure that out more and more. And he's going to get stronger as the game goes on, which is a really, really good sign, because that's what you want your star players to do. You want them to get stronger as they head towards the end.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, there was that scary moment, I believe, on an alley-oop attempt from Jaden Bradley, but they also did connect on one as well. And I have a feeling that we're going to be seeing a lot of that connection on the transition in 2025,
they connected on both. They connected on both. The one that he fell, he did connect. He
Yeah,
dunked it.
that's right.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that was scary. I was like, all right, timeout. Get them all out. I don't want to see
Bubble wrap.
anymore. Oh man. And you know what's so funny is I think if that was a regular season game against a different team, I think he lays there for a while and he plays it. But I think he realized, what am I laying down on the ground for? If I'm not like truly, truly hurt, I should probably hop back up because these are my teammates and I don't want anybody to catch some smoke because I was sitting there laying down and I was holding my wrist or something like that. So he got right back up and he appeared to be fine. So
Yeah, yeah. The one kind of star freshman. Not that the other guys, the international prospects, are not stars. I just think that they're a little bit more unknowns as of now. But Dwayne Aristode had a great game as well. 12 points on 4 of 5 shooting, very efficient. Hit his 1 3-pointer, looked good in doing so. Recorded a steal, had an assist, did so in 16 minutes. What did you like from Arizona's probably most underrated addition to the roster coming into this year?
yeah, I love Dwayne. I think he's going to be really, really solid all the way across the board. I just like his versatility. He could play a lot of different positions. He's not locked in. He's not a cookie cutter kind of wing. He you saw him handle the ball just fine. He got to the rim just fine. He was able to hit the outside shot. Defensively, I thought he was very good. It's just overall, I think Dwayne Aristode is going to surprise a lot of people, and I think the key here is just the rotation. What is the rotation going to look like? Who's he going to be playing with? And really, is he going to be able to get out open into the floor more? Because we didn't really see too much of the run and gun game tonight. I want to see a little bit more of that from Arizona as we move forward, and I think we traditionally do against other teams. So you know, can he get out and fly? And I think that's really what's going to accentuate him as well.
Yeah, I love his fit with this roster. I think they needed that type of player, right? Like that athletic wing who could just kind of be a dog defensively. And it's going to be really interesting because Anthony Del Orso, conversely, also shot 4 of 5. Saul also made all of his 3-point attempts tonight, shooting 2 versus Aristode's 1. Added 5 rebounds in the process and did so in 17 minutes. Those two seem to be kind of neck and neck right now for that starting 3 position. What would you do if you were Tommy Lloyd and you were in those shoes?
Oh man, that's a tough one. For balance, I might go Delhi. I might go ADO. Just because I want Dwayne to be able to come off the bench with Tobe and really, you know, have a good solid bench unit that comes off. But I'm indifferent. It's not it doesn't really matter. It's really about who is going to be the starting five. So right now, as you're positioning it, if you're going to go with Delhi, then you would have you start off with Jaden Delhi, and then that 3 person. Who's that going to be? Is that going to be Kurchenkov? Is it going to be Aristode? And then 4 is Pete, and then 5 is Krivas. So I think that's where you're kind of looking at if you're going to play with Delhi or Aristode. That's the positioning right there that you're looking at. And then is anybody else? Is Kurchenkov going to be in that mix? Because I thought Kurchenkov actually didn't play badly tonight either. I thought he kind of made a good statement in terms of what he could do out there on the court. I think between those 3, you have a lot of versatility who could play the 2 and the 3. And then you throw in the Bryce James factor. And then I'm sorry, Braden Burries. What am I talking about? Braden Burries will be at the 2 more likely than not. And so that 3 position is really what you're talking about. So I think in that 3 position, honestly, now that I'm saying it out loud, Aristode's probably going to be the 3. And I think Delhi comes off the bench because Delhi comes in for Burries in those spot minutes, and then maybe rotates over to a 3 position, possibly if maybe they're down a guy or whatever. But I could see that happening.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you. I think, you know, that's probably the highest ceiling iteration of Arizona. But to your point earlier, like for balance sake, I could see Tommy maybe giving the nod to Delhi instead. And we talked to Delhi at the Arizona Basketball Media Day when we had him on our set and asked him, you know, what's that like being kind of the leader of a team, but also having to balance that with competing for your own spot versus one of the guys that you're supposed to kind of have your arm over, right? And it's kind of a weird relationship that he's supposed to have with people, but or with his teammates. But I do believe that like Delhi is kind of that leader type personality where, you know, that's not going to be as much of an issue. And really, truly, this team feels locked in and connected together where they just want to win basketball games, man. And they don't really care what the rotation looks like as long as they're getting W's in the win column. But With all of these new additions and so many new faces, a lot of them being so young, Saul, and that gauntlet of a schedule that you mentioned, I do think that you're right. Like, we could be seeing or be in line for the type of situation where it's a little bit of a rough start and it doesn't look as good as maybe you want it to early. But I maybe last year conditioned Arizona fans enough for that, or do you think that Arizona fans are just too crazy? That's not going to be the case. What's going on?
What the hell? What the hell was that? This guy is bumping like 80s music and skating around on rollerblades with his flashlight.
You got to love Tucson, man. That's the
I
greatest
was
city
like,
on
what
earth.
the hell's going on? That was funny. I saw this bright light coming from me. I was like, what the hell's going on?
That's classic Tucson. I'm half expecting like some drunk college kid to like just like stumble by. Kind of like, did you see that ASU kid video where they were asking him like what's it called when you get 10 yards, and he goes, doesn't matter, and he's slurring his words the whole time, like falling over himself, and everybody was like smartest ASU fan.
I've not seen that at all.
No,
I mean,
gotta
listen,
send it
if
to
I
you.
go if I go about 100 yards down the road, I guarantee you I'm gonna see some drunk kids.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
Yeah. But Saul, those were kind of like the star-studded freshmen that we saw and needed to see tonight. But was there, anything from Arizona's veterans, in particular, the Jaden Bradleys, the Tobe Awakas, the Mo Krivoses, that stuck out to you in particular?
I mean, Jaden Bradley is just he's a pro. He's just a consummate pro right now. Everything is pretty easy. Defensively, he's already in midseason form. He stole a couple balls already from these freshmen. He's like, you young bucks still don't know how to play this game yet. You know what I mean? Like, he was teaching them lessons out there, which is great. They get into the film room and he's gonna be like, I told you about that shit in practice, and guess what? You got ripped. Like, I told you, can't do that. So I think he's good to go. Tobe, I didn't see much from Tobe tonight, but you don't really need to see much from him. You know what he's going to give you. He's probably going to come off the bench this year, and he's going to give you Tobe Awaka minutes, and he's going to be strong doing so. So I'm not worried about him. And then obviously, the new guy Evans, he didn't do anything spectacular. He didn't do anything bad. I thought he was decent. So
I liked what I saw
overall,
from Evan Nelson tonight, honestly. I thought
yeah.
he played some decent defense on Jaden Bradley, even though Jaden Bradley was still scoring buckets, but I thought he was making life hard on him, and that's one of the best point guards in all of college basketball. So there's nothing to, hang your head at.
Here comes my guy again. Here comes my guy again.
He's just doing laps.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is Apollo Ono status right here.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
I love it.
This is not only has this been an Arizona or the AZ Wildcats postgame for the Red Blue game, but this has been like Tucson Showcase right now, like campus walkthrough with Saul Bookman, just like strolling down the mall, making new friends. I love it.
Matter of fact, how about at the end of the show, you can put me on mute because it's going to be too loud, and I will walk us all the way over to the party so you guys can all see what you're missing. And if you're in Tucson, you should be over there right now, because what are you doing? It's Shaq and Gronk, for crying out loud.
Yeah, it's Shaq and Gronk and DJ Tom E. I mean, it's hard to beat the crew over there tonight. But Saul, I do have one more ad break I got to get into, and then we're going to talk about the festivities of tonight and everything that we saw from our guy Gronk and Shaq out there. All that and more on the other side of this break. But first, we got to hit some ads here on the AZ Wildcats pod. We got to, feed some families, put some money in the pockets, if you will. And one way you can put some money in your pocket is by going over to Gila River Resorts and Casinos. We hear us talk about it all the time. Me in particular, I am a Wild Horse Pass man. That is my favorite casino in the state of Arizona, quite possibly the world. I've been to plenty of casinos in Vegas. Keep them. Vegas is fun. I don't need it. I'd rather do a staycation and hit up a Gila River Resort and Casino location like a Wild Horse Pass and get everything that I need in my backyard. But I don't have to do that Vegas drive, that Vegas traveling if you're flying, or worry about those Vegas smells either. Guys, Gila River Resorts and Casinos, they have it all, whether it's live table games, whether it's the slots, whether it's upscale dining options, and the pool area with the cabanas, the concert venue for comedy shows and music and more. All of it. at these Gila River Resorts and Casinos locations. And of course, they have 4 locations all throughout the valley: Beekiva, Lone Butte, Santan, Mountain, and Wild Horse Pass being those 4. And we are so excited to be sponsored by them as our official kind of casino that we have here at PHNX Sports. We love Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for more details and find out how you can staycation in the greatest staycation spot that we have in this great state of ours. Another fine sponsor we need to talk about is Monarch Money. You guys have heard Kevin talk about how much money he's saved with Monarch Money, and you heard me talk about our great promo code that we have with another one of our fine sponsors, 50%. Monarch Money is doing the same thing, guys. 2 50% promo codes for you tonight. Can't beat that. And the guys, the promo code of PHNX is going to get you 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com. Monarch Money is the best budgeting app of 2025, according to the Wall Street Journal. Forbes' best app for couples, named in CNBC's top fintech companies in the world. And guys, there's a reason for all of that. It's because Monarch Money is going to try their best to help you save money. They're going to look at your subscriptions, see things that maybe you're just hemorrhaging some extra money on that you could be saving on a monthly basis. And it really stacks up when you do so. If you guys use this promo code of PHNX, save 50% off with Monarch Money. You are going to make it back in the process as they help you in your financial journey find a way to save money and cut corners. Guys, hit up Monarch Money today. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use our promo code of PHNX at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with promo code PHNX. Let's get Saul back in here. And Saul, we kind of went through most of the players that we needed to tonight, but there was other things that happened before, right? There was the 3-point contest with Anthony Del Orso and Michaela Purdue. There was the dunk contest, of course, that was won, I believe, by Addison Arnold, right? Even though it was kind of a lackluster ending to the dunk contest, no one making anything in the final round there, but so almost like a participation trophy. But he did bring the house down when he postered Gronk earlier in the night, and then you had some unnamed individual run out onto the court, someone I've never seen before. He had some size to him. I'll give him that. He had basketball size, right? But he was not very good. And then he got ejected. I mean, what a disaster class showing from was his name Gronkstone?
Yeah. I forgot what the first part was, like Maddie McGronkstone or something like that. Yeah, just an odd thing. Yeah, but it was funny. I just was hoping nobody was going to get hurt. That's the stupid in me. Like, I can't just have fun. I can't just enjoy the moment. I have to sit there and I got to be like, oh man, hope nobody gets hurt. Like, chill out, Saul. It's going to be all right. Everything's going to be fine. Tommy was laughing and Tommy was having a good time out there. And listen, this is for the kids. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be entertaining, and I think that's exactly what it was tonight. And so the 3-point contest was actually really good.
Yeah, it was.
I do. Michaela gave Delhi the run until he was able to hit that last 2 ball and win it at the end. Otherwise, he definitely would have lost. And both of those players were just shooting the lights out. So Arizona wins basketball, man. I'm excited for them this season. It's gonna be fun to watch. I know our girl Erica is gonna be really covering a lot of stuff from there. So it was a good showing. Good night overall. Justin Gronkowski right here. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? How are you?
Good. And so just another night at U of A.
Yeah, I shout out Erica, by the way. Guys, if you haven't done so, after this show is over or in a different browser, and don't leave us though, go support our friends at PHNX Mercury, who took a just heartbreaking, brutal loss tonight, and really should have had that one in game 1 of the WNBA finals. I know we did a watch along here at HQ3, Saul, and people were heartbroken. Erica was heartbroken. So show some support, show some love. They need it tonight. And Erica's actually going to hop on with me on the beginning part of our football postgame tomorrow. So that will be a lot of fun in the meantime. Of course, we'll do pregame and postgame for tomorrow's game, as we always do. But getting back to tonight's game and just kind of what we saw, the 3-point contest, absolutely. Michaela Purdue looked out of her mind. And Becky Burke, I don't know, Saul, I doubt that you guys could hear the audio, right? I doubt the in-game audio is the same as our broadcast audio, but Becky Burke was on the broadcast with Brian Jeffries at the time of the 3-point contest, and she was talking mad crazy. Like she was talking cash about her girl Michaela Purdue being like, I
I
got
love it.
Mickey in this one. She's about to like put it on ADO and like
Oh
all this
boy.
stuff. Like was saying like she said probably 20 times she was gonna win. And just this close to not getting the deal done.
Wow.
But it was really an impressive showing. And as you say, it's going to be a lot of fun watching Arizona women's basketball this year as well. Michaela Purdue figures to be the big star, I think, on the team this year. And she showed it in front of the men's fans tonight, which, like, let's not put that, let's not undersell that. I think that's a big deal, especially with a new coaching staff. We all know how much the women's team has galvanized this fan base and become one of the best women's fan bases on the entire West Coast and in all of college basketball. But when you have a new coach and a bunch of new faces in that locker room, getting out there and getting in front of the fans, these men's fans that are so passionate on a game by game basis, and showing them, we can hoop too. I think that's kind of a big deal.
Dude, for forever, I've wondered why Arizona has not showcased the women the way that I felt like they deserve to be showcased in an event like this. And to see that tonight was fantastic. Like, I think that is definitely something that should happen every single year. Like, at a minimum of 3-point contest, you might as well throw the skills competition in there too, and just have like 3 guys do the dunk contest instead of like 4 or 6. Like, the dunk contest was just so weak at the end. Like, like unless you have some elite guy, do we really need it? Like, to that degree? Probably not. Addison Arnold stole the show because of his creativity and the Gronk spike and all that stuff. That was fantastic. I could watch that 100 times over. Definitely a fan favorite if he wasn't already. I'm a huge Addison Arnold guy now. I think I ordered my jersey while I was sitting there. So like, big props to him. He was fantastic. He was fun to watch. Even when he got into the game, he got a little scrappy in there and got a little loose ball. Like, he was mixing it up. Like, I love that. That's what you want from your bench players, your walk-ons, right? But overall, I thought it wasn't a typical red blue game because I thought this was a little funner than most. I thought that they mixed it up the right way. The mosquitoes are going crazy right now, and everybody seemed to have a good time. The crowd had a good time. They also, for those of you who were not here and didn't hear the band director talk at halftime, they're going to try and do something starting at the 8-minute mark. And I don't know if you guys were able to hear this or not, but at the 8-minute mark, they're going to start doing some traditional thing because they're trying to incorporate something here that is going to be recognized and can challenge those other venues at Iowa State, Kansas, the things that they have going for them, that make it so, such a home court advantage. I think that message got over to certain people loud and clear. And matter of fact, last year, when I spoke to the band director, I believe his name's Chris, he we were talking at length about like just that feel. And he had some ideas up his sleeve about what he would like to talk to these guys about. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do. They already started some things using like kind of traditional music, the swag surf and all that stuff. But I hope that they came up with something different, something that's really more authentic to what we would do as a fan base. Because he was talking about everybody stand up at the 8-minute mark and start chanting at the bench, was one example. And I'm like, oh, you're really going to get all these oldies but goodies to stand up and do that for 8 minutes before the game? Like, they got to save those legs for when it really matters, right? So we'll see.
Yeah. But I think that's a really interesting kind of tidbit there. I mean, you talked about, from talking to Tommy Lloyd and from being in the Big 12, press conferences, that Kansas game, right, where they won on senior night and it was absolutely insane inside of the field house, right? And Tommy was just like, McKale's great, but it ain't the Allen Fieldhouse. And so it clearly that, that ruffled some feathers in a good way, I think. And the people inside of the Arizona basketball program were like, cool, how can we get to that level? Because that's truly, that's what being, in the Big 12 is so great. That's what makes it so great, is you're really being tested against the best basketball programs in the country, the best fan bases in the country. And it's just going to make Arizona better and better.
if Tommy, I love Tommy, but if Tommy had any balls, he would play that clip on the big screen at the 8-minute mark to piss people off and get them out of their seats. Right? Like, let's go. Like that'd be hilarious. But overall, I think they're gonna try and do some things to kind of mix things up, get things back into the system, and then from there, hopefully that home court advantage will be pretty significant this year as opposed to last year.
Yeah, it's
And last year was great. And last
yeah.
year was great. I'm not saying we didn't have a home court advantage last year, but I think when you saw some of these other Big 12 venues, you started to feel the difference between some of these elite places, and that I think maybe in a small kind of way we might got a little complacent because there was really nowhere else for us to go in the Pac-12 that's really like us. We're the only ones. Now we went to Kansas and we're like, oh yeah, it's a little bit different out here. So let's raise that level of expectation and get back to where we were.
Not just Kansas, though. I mean, you look at Texas Tech, you look at BYU. I mean, these are insane environments. Even Kansas State, like there are Iowa State. These people are just passionate about their teams and they love their teams. And honestly, it fits better for, I think, our university than being in the Pac-12 in that regard. Because while, maybe we're not up to the snuff of maybe those top tier fan bases in terms of, fan support in the Big 12, we were absolutely at the top of the Pac-12 in terms of fan support, having the best basketball fans, best baseball fans, best softball fans, best women's basketball fans. I mean, across the board, everything essentially except football, Arizona was kind of, dominating the Pac-12 and now we get actual fan bases that love and care about their teams as well. And it's just a better fit for the Arizona, Wildcats athletic department from that perspective. But I did want to talk about the dunk contest just for a little bit. You said you're an Addison Arnold man. I'm a little bit more of a Jackson Reed Francois guy. And that's not kissing up or anything, Saul. No kissing up going on over here. Desiree? Just saying.
Are you going to clip this and send it to her? What are we doing here?
I'm a Jackson Reed Francois guy. I ordered my jersey already. But in all seriousness, with the dunk contest, Addison Arnold he did steal the show with his showmanship, I would say, with that Gronk dunk in particular, posterizing Gronk, the Gronk spike with Gronk. I mean, it was electric. But if you had, Saul, asked me to pull all of my assets, everything I own, all of my vintage clothing, all of my branded Bills hats that I wear on this program, shout out Max, all of my mattress, like my TV, my PlayStation 5, the very few items I have in my possession, I would have pulled it all together and put it on Koa Peat money line to win this dunk contest, and he didn't win. What do you think happened?
I wouldn't have done that. You have to understand, like,
everything I own.
Koa Peat has elite athleticism, okay? But there's a difference between elite athleticism and elite dunkerism. I just made up a word. Like, and the best dunkers in the world are super just like flexible, dynamic, that got crazy hang time. He has crazy hang time too, but like, it's just one of those things where, like, I don't know. I thought he was going to have more in the bag after that first dunk. I was like, oh, okay, that's the start. Okay, that's a good start. And that was it. I was like, oh, all right, well, all right.
We do have a special guest.
I don't know where the camera is. Mickey Purdue? Mickey
Oh
Purdue?
my gosh.
Mickey Purdue?
She's cold.
Mickey Purdue?
She's ice cold, Erica.
She is.
We're
Cold
going
as
Final Four.
ice.
We're in double Final Four.
Double Final Four.
Double Final Four and a Mercury Championship?
In
Oh my
Phoenix.
gosh.
The Final Four is in
Let's
Phoenix.
go.
You guys understand what this means for me? I'm going either way, but Mickey Purdue is going to meet me there.
I actually Erica, I saw the women's trophy. It was at like the women's trophy was in like the Renaissance Hotel right by kind of around where our new office is. And I was walking in there and I was like, it's just out. And people were just taking pics with it. And I was like, this is crazy. Is it not?
That's wild. I was just taking it.
That thing down, or I'm going to come get it. I would like a trophy for my room at home. Anyways, y'all have fun. Bear down, go Cats, all that.
We'll see Erica tomorrow on the post-game show for Arizona versus Oklahoma State, which is, of course, a must-win game as we've been talking about all week long, because Oklahoma State is trash.
Dude, you can't lose to this team of misfits and just low level players, half of which are already entering the portal. Like, no, if we lose this one, I'm not gonna be a happy camper.
No, nor should you be, Saul.
Balut
If we
knows we're
lose
not gonna
this
lose
one, the post-game show is going to be brutal for your boy. Because
I'm not
last
even
week,
watching it.
even last week's 25-point loss to a top 25 team on the road had me sitting there at the end of the post-game show being like, is it over? Is this team the worst team ever? And it's like, chill out, man. They've lost one football game. It was against a really, really good football team that's really well coached, by the way. And also, speaking of, Iowa State's underdogs to Cincinnati tomorrow. That's
crazy. That's crazy.
Real. And I don't quite understand it. And it might be a rat line, but who cares? I'm diving headfirst into it, and we're going to be giving you our 3 best bets on the pregame show tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Kevin won't be on, but I'll be making sure I got Kevin's bets for him in the meantime. But yeah, big time postgame show against Oklahoma State tomorrow. But of course, we are doing our red-blue postgame show tonight. Saul, are we on the move again? What's the new vibe?
Well, I told you, as we get closer, if it gets a little louder, just, mute me. But I got to show you this because it's going to be epic. I just know it is. So we're going to go check out this big-ass Gronk Shaq party because we can.
Where in the world is Saul Bookman is the name of this podcast tonight, because you've been doing a lot of moving, my guy. But how nuts would it be? Can you just walk up to the front and just be like, let me on, I'm doing a stream, and just see
I'm pretty sure I could just walk in, but I don't know. Maybe there's security or something. I don't know. We'll find out. It should be interesting. But it's loud. I can hear it from all the way over here, and maybe this is going to become a routine. Oh shit, this is crazy. So just to give you a little frame of reference, that's the Zona Zoo entrance right there. So I'm on this side of the McKale Arena, McKale Center. So, but as you can hear Little John in the distance.
Campus tour with Mr. Bookman.
Wait, some of you guys have not seen campus for a while. A lot of things have changed. Like this big ass building right here that never used to be there. Like a lot of things have changed, even since like I graduated in 2018. Like it wasn't that long ago, and it's like a completely different university on this side. So let's get dude. I lost like 50 pounds in the last like 3 months, or actually last 6 months. Sorry. So like, yeah, I'm in shape.
Dude, some dude was talking some ish earlier, Saul. I don't know if you saw it, but he was like, oh, Saul's getting out of breath, walk around campus. Like, no, my guy's on the move here. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? I'm out of breath. What are you talking about? That's crazy.
We're gonna light jog going. This is unreal content right now on the AZ Wildcats postgame show. Nothing like it. You won't see anything like it anywhere out there in U of A media. But as we kind of wrap this one up here, the discussion that I kind of wanted to round things out on, and you could see it there.
Yeah, so that's the party. So. Anyway.
Saul, the thing that I wanted to wrap this up on, and I think it's a good place to end, is our guy Brayden Burries. He obviously, Arizona needed a bucket, right? That one got to the very wire, and his team needed a bucket, and he drove to the rack and he scored, and he got the winning point for his team in the process. You saw Jaden Bradley doing the same thing on the other team. I feel pretty good about Arizona's ability to create a shot at the end of a game this year. Last year, I think everybody would have said Caleb Love is that guy. Caleb Love is the dude that you give the ball at the end of the game no matter what, and you live and die with Caleb Love, and that was understandable. But this year, it feels like it's definitely going to be a lot more of who's hot that night, who's shooting the ball the best that night. And I feel like Arizona has the pieces to really, go toe-to-toe with the team if it comes down to like one ISO bucket versus another team's at the end of a game.
Dude, I wholeheartedly agree. I think it's going to be crazy when they have 3, 4, 5 options down the stretch. And then if, listen, you attack the rim with 7 seconds left to go. That way, if you miss, guess what? Privas, Awaka, Peat, big boys, all down there. going to get those tip ins, those little putbacks. Like, dude, you are going to be in good shape this year for sure. So I agree with you. I think Braden Burries I loved how he was just so under control on that last drive. Like, it didn't even matter. Now, again, they lose that game, doesn't matter because it doesn't really affect the record. So it's a little bit different, but that's just who he is.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like, you're right. It wasn't as if it's life or death, like it would be, say, in a tournament situation with that situation on the line. But you're right. It did just look so natural from Braden Burries, the way he just attacked the basket, his body control. And yeah, you love to see it, especially when he needs to be that guy from just a creation standpoint, creating his shot standpoint, because as much as Jaden Bradley can do that, and we saw some of that, and I'm hyping that up tonight, I think when we get into the season, he will defer to his teammates. You know, that's who Jaden Bradley is. He's not the dude who wants just the ball in his hands all game long. He wants to get other people involved, and he's also just kind of a defensive first type of player sometimes. Brayden Burries is going to need to hit some of those shots. Koa Peat at times is going to need to hit some of those shots. But I think that Arizona has enough pieces and the horses to do it. And to your point earlier, I really do think that this rotation and the way that it's built is built so solid for a team that can compete at the highest level and for a conference championship in the toughest conference in the country to get it done in. But Saul, we're going to be hearing from you all basketball season long on the McKale Madness show with our guy Corey Williams, who of course was on the broadcast for the Red Blue Showcase tonight if you were watching on ESPN Plus. Yeah, we love Corey Williams as well. Saul and Corey will be going once a week, talking all things Arizona basketball and McKale Madness. We cannot wait for that show to get back up and running over here at PHNX Sports. And, of course, Saul, you're going to be taking some road trips this year, going to the UCLA trip in L.A., going to the Florida trip in Vegas to open the year, going to BYU in Provo. So Saul Bookman's going to have you locked and loaded with all your premier Arizona basketball coverage every step of the way here all season long.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, man, I've already booked a couple of trips. You know, if you are going to the BYU game, wait, they don't even. I'm not saying this to hate on a city or the demographic there, but like, are you allowed to drink in Provo?
I think maybe in certain pockets, but probably not most of the places.
Okay, all right. So I was gonna say, hit me up. We'll grab a beer, but maybe not.
Maybe we'll grab a pop.
Maybe we'll go have a pop.
Yeah.
There you go. We'll have a soda. Maybe we can have an egg cream at the local diner. Yeah. So I'm going to go out there. I think I'm probably going to go back out to Kansas City again for the Kansas matchup and potentially the Big 12 tournament again. It's just so electric out there. It's so much fun. And I think this is one of those years where, you know, you got to go out there and see it. And again, I would encourage every single one of you, if you have the opportunity to fly into Kansas City, drive over to Lawrence, which is only a 40-minute drive. It's not that long. It's not that bad. And go watch a game at Allen Fieldhouse. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. It's damn near a religious experience.
Yeah.
Like, because it is one of the icons of basketball.
The
and
Mecca.
So like it is
Yeah.
like, whether you want to admit it or not, like, it's just a fact. So, and I don't really feel like you can truly appreciate what Tommy Lloyd is talking about unless you've been there, because every single person that was there knew exactly what Tommy was talking about, because you could feel it. It's like these damn ghosts come out of nowhere and they're just like, rock shot. You know, like, it's just, anyway. McKale's amazing. Like, the first time I came to McKale was as a student in 2015. I'd never been to McKale before. Been a lifelong Arizona fan. Never got a chance to. And my wife said she did not want me to go unless she could go with me, because she knew it was going to be a big deal to me. I fucking cried like a baby. You know what I mean? Like, because it was in McKale. Like, this is it. I've been to hundreds of football games. I never could get a basketball ticket when I was a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
This is a special place. The Big 12 has special basketball places. So if you get an opportunity to go check them all out, you should definitely do so. It's just fantastic. The Big 12 fans are unlike any other fans in the country. They're awesome for the most part.
Yeah, we are so fired up for this season. And Saul, we appreciate your hard work and you being boots on the ground here for this Red Blue Showcase, man. You can follow Saul, of course, at Saul_Bookman, and we'll let you enjoy the rest of your night, my guy.
All right, brother. We'll see you.
Peace out. That's going to do it for us today on the AZ Wildcats podcast. I'm, of course, Damon Dog. You can follow me at Damon Dog. That's CAWG. And you can follow us at PHNX_Wildcats on all socials, except for TikTok, where we're at AZ Wildcats Pod. Appreciate everybody for tuning into this one. Drop a like on this video. 64 people watching, only 22 likes. It's not good enough. Drop a like on this video. Kevin can't get sleep on vacation in the meantime if you guys don't. And rate and review on your favorite podcasting platform. Appreciate everybody for watching. We'll be live for pregame 30 minutes prior to opening kickoff tomorrow at 12 noon. So pregame at 11:30 tomorrow. Be there for that. And then we'll do postgame once the clock hits 0, 10 to 15 minutes after the game with Erica Day, with Cohen Kinney, and with all of you fine people. So appreciate everybody for watching, and we'll catch you tomorrow on the AZ Wildcats Pod. Until next time, peace out, bear down, and go Cats.
We all silly like the mayor.